told me not to leave it all behind. I guess that's what I've done. And now I don't feel the way that I should feel inside. It's time to let it go. We started out strong, into the end. You gave me something I couldn't live. I guess that I'm the only one. I guess that I'm the only one. We started out strong, into the end. You gave me something I couldn't live. I guess that I'm the only one. I guess that I'm the only one. You gave me something. Although it hurts, I know that you're the reason I feel down. It's time to let it go. 'Cause we don't work, and I'm tired of trying to turn it all around. I'm rising from it all. We started out strong, into the end. You gave me something I couldn't live. I guess that I'm the only one. I guess that I'm the only one. We started out strong, until the end. You gave me something I couldn't live. I guess that I'm the only one. I guess that I'm the only one.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to Falador. Here we are. with music right off the bat. What a beast. So it'll be a little bit shorter of a stream today, because I happen to have some time, but the sister-in-law works early tomorrow, so maybe getting off at like 11, so like hour and a half, but figured I'd say hi. Hello, oh, I always have to be the first one to comment. I don't know how to say your name every time. It's always going to be an ordeal. C. Jore, maybe? Hey Stevie, Brennan, Tam, and Rusudin? Something like that. What is that emote? I've never seen that. Face, blue, smiling. Beautiful. Let's see. What has happened since last time? There's no one more extreme than this guy? Well, maybe. Oh no. It's not a competition around here. I got a lamped 5 agility. I got some super compost again finally, so I'm getting pretty close to 76 farming because I'm planting my magics. So that's cool. Oh, hey, I'll take that. Anything else happen? We passed 60% banked. Hey, Ghost. My pleasure, my pleasure. We passed 60% banked, assuming secateurs. Without secateurs, we're at like 59. Let me check it. Something real close. Like 59.6, something like that. Sorry, 49.6. So, it's getting there, but a little bit slower. How has everyone's week been? This week has felt kind of fast for me. I don't know. $58 million. Yeah, we're almost at 59, but like we have another 1 million XP to overtake rank 33 for hardcore woodcutting. So it'll be a bit yet. Hey Sherlock, thanks for the lobsters earlier. You called that essence sampling and I saw it really late and I hopped and I didn't get it, but thanks for thinking of me. Did 30s go Tizo? Jeez. Oh yeah, for all the hard clues. That makes sense. That makes sense. Did you get any Jars of Darkness by chance? A dupe one? Jeez. It's a buzz stream. What a night to be alive. Ooh, just a totem left. I know someone that has a similar log. Well, fairly similar. Hey Daryl, welcome, welcome. If you played OSRS, you'd bug me more. Well, yeah, you sure could if you wanted. We'd welcome you with open arms. But let me see if I can set this up. One reason I wanted to stream tonight is I wanted to get some thoughts about this account I started. Let me see if I could. I'm not. I'm a pretend streamer. I don't know what I'm doing, but let me see if I can. Okay, little guy. And then we switch to big guy, right? Switch the source. Ah, jeez. Alright. 2 Faladaddies? Okay, so I have this other account that I made. And his name is OneChunk. And he is a supreme OneChunk that only plays in PvP worlds starting in Lumbridge, right? As you do, you know. And so the interesting thing about PvP worlds is that there's no random events. There's only 3 worlds that are members and 1 non-member world. If you drop items, they disappear automatically. Or sorry, they show up to everyone automatically. And like I don't have any teleports to get away from people. And the best food in this chunk is not very good. So I started as a hardcore, right? And I lost it pretty fast because someone had like the perfect level 3 killing account. And so, but I knew that was going to happen eventually. Hey, Zach. Good to see you. So I was coming up with a rule for how to keep PvP worlds important and not just like suicide dive for everything, like 3 iteming, you know? And so what I came up with was that every PvP death after losing hardcore would what's the goal for this one? Well, kind of the same thing as all chunk accounts, just do as much as you can, but it's like supreme, so it kind of has the same goals as Faladaddy. It's like the normal chunk accounts that start in Lumbridge except with pets, pretty much. But the thing that I decided to do is that basically when you die, I have it like kind of turns into like it's hard because I didn't want it to be an Ironman where dying is kind of insignificant, but I didn't want it to be like an ultimate where dying would be like super significant. So when it dies, it like it's like tainted. My account is like tainted, and let's see. I have a plugin that will turn my it turns my Ironman to none. And then when that happens, I need to, let me see if I can work my magic. It turns into, can you see that? Yeah, so then it turns kind of into like a task account. And like I have to get items. I have to get random items that I can obtain. And I have to sacrifice them in order to redeem my account to get it back in good graces with death or something like that. And so, like, for instance, I couldn't get burnt meat, so I'd have to, like, train some combat. So, like, I can't just camp level 3. And while I do that, I would have, like, immunity, so I can't just keep getting spawn camped. Anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking, but I was just curious if anyone had any thoughts about that. I didn't want to make it too convoluted, but it kind of is. Oh no. But I did want to play PvP worlds. You think being an Iron on PvP worlds is hard enough? Well, I mean, like, I could do everything in this first chunk on a PvP world and, like, basically not interact with anyone. Yes, I did not die on Faladaddy. He's the small account. This is just another account that I'm kind of playing around on. And I'll probably get a lot of questions about that. Is this the first time I'm showing it? Yeah, I am showing this account for the first time because I just want some feedback. If anyone has any thoughts about if it's like how the concept sounds. Won't be stuck on level 3 forever. I mean, yeah, that's true. I'll have to get the 99 defense cape and whatnot, but even then, like, I could just, I could just go out there with, like, a mithril battle axe and then die and then go out again. Like, like, what's the point? In this chunk, there's, like, no point to PvP worlds only. I've also never seen a combination of like a task account and a chunk account, which is why I'm interested in dying, but not too interested. I should have done Verve's chunk in PvP rule. Gotta always have X amount of cash in the chunk to train current stats. I don't know, that sounds more convoluted to me. Like, the options I was having was like, well, I could always have to carry, like, my four stacks from my bank, like the most expensive ones, I don't know. Or, then I was like, well, how about every death I have to redo a drop table? But, like, that doesn't scale well. Like, it's okay, like, do a random drop table that I've already done or something. That doesn't scale well. Like, what if I get to the point where I have to like redo the entire Calphite Queen drop table because someone killed me while I was mining iron, you know? So I think the rule I have right now makes sense. And I removed, like, skill capes and pets from possible, like, redemption items, which I'm just calling talismans for now. Because then I just have immunity for, like, my entire chunk while I'm going for the pet or the skill cape, right? I don't really want that. Yeah, well, I'm talking about getting it. I'm not getting it, to be clear. I haven't gotten it. Each chunk will have its own risk of what you end up losing. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I'd have to risk something going to, like, kill the Calphite Queen, probably, right? I can't probably 3-item that. Also, if you didn't know, you can't pick up other players' bones in PvP as an Ironman, but in normal worlds you can. Just so you know. Maybe you could earn some type of bonus by completing a chunk without dying. Well, then there's the problem of, like, I'm playing as Supreme, so, like, how am I gonna do an entire Supreme chunk without dying? there's a lot of things you can't do with 3 items. But then there's like a lot that you can. Like a lot of the combat stuff, you probably can if you're flicking. And like in the immediacy, I can pretty much do everything 3 iteming. I mean, like, you know, you're chopping trees and you die, you lose your logs. But like, that's not the end of the world. You just go back out there with the axe that you kept on death and start chopping again. So, I don't know. Lose the beaver. Well, how I have it worded right now in my rules is that like any unobtained pets and skill capes are not rollable. But if I do get them, then I might have to sacrifice them. I also kind of like it because like it adds a little bit of a storyline to my chunk. Like I don't necessarily have to do just the best thing. I have to do the thing that I need to do that works towards like getting out. So I don't know. It makes sense to me. But then again, starting the Supreme account, I thought it would make a lot of sense, and then the first video is just a whole bunch of people calling me stupid. So, so at least now I have a bit of an audience to like bounce stuff off of. Look at any good series on YouTube. Yeah, like. Yeah, like simple rules are the best accounts. Daryl, would you say that this is not simple? Like switching, like you have a period of being a task account, a task chunk account. Would you consider that convoluted, too complicated? What tasks can you do? By tasks, I'm referring to like, not like completion log, collection log, but like my tasks would be collecting an item from that spreadsheet that's available within the chunk, and then sacrificing it. And if I already have that item in my bank, then the entire stack goes. So like, what I don't want to happen is I have to buy the bank slots, but so I'm like saving up all my money, and then I roll coins, and then I have to sacrifice all my coins, you know? Hey LSD broski, I saw you stream today. Did it go a bit better? I couldn't catch it, but I saw it was there. I was wishing you good vibes from over here. A name with no face? Ghost. So, okay, let me... I'm just talking and not reading. I have to get to the reading part of this. I have to drop logs. Okay. Like the bonus take, Northern UIMs videos are great, but watching him die and losing progress is terrible. Like when the big events for the account are positive. Yeah, that's true. Like, I can get set back, but for most things in this rule set, it wouldn't be like the end of the world. You could even consider it sometimes a bit of a bonus by getting some kind of immunity. Of course, you'd still lose items when you die, but you wouldn't have to go back to a spreadsheet every time. Maybe make a list of achievements or tasks you have to do to unlock certain grinds. a little bit more complicated. Simple is cool, but there's also a point where the audience is so niche that convoluted rules are the only possible way to do something unique. That's true. Good to hear, broski. New mic? Nope. Probably just hoarser throat or something. What fire making level? I'm at 41 right now. Hey, Coffee. Coffee, welcome, welcome. Yeah, the Falador account is in the small chat box there. And this account is one that I'm just kind of testing, and I wanted to present it so I could bounce ideas around off you smart people. I know I'm gonna have to repeat it a lot, but the general concept is that it is a PvP only Supreme Ironman, and so it has to do all the Supreme things in this chunk, but it's only on PvP worlds. But in order to keep like dying and PvP relevant, it switches to a it switches over, like after I die, I like lose some kind of status, and like I'll switch it so that my Iron Man icon's gone, and I'll display some stuff on the screen, and we'll see. And I'll go to this task thing, kind of like generate task if you've seen him, and I'll have to summon some items to redeem myself to get back my good graces with death. And I'll have to sacrifice these items in the chunk before I can, like, kind of continue. If that makes sense. So, that's kind of the idea. And like, if I roll an item there, progress has to be made toward it immediately. And if I already have that item, the entire stack in my bank has to go. So I think that scales well with like how likely I am to die with how hard it is to recover, and keeps PvP worlds relevant. But that's just kind of my current thought. I don't know. No problem, Brennan. I think that you can make any account series successful. Just need the right game mode name. Okay, I was thinking of calling this either Dead Man Chunkin' or The Chunking Dead. And the titles, I think that either of those are good enough to like warrant making a series. Hey, Speed Frog. Yeah, I'm working on this account kind of on the side because, you know, it is a lot of woodcutting, isn't it? The item sacrifice sounds convoluted. I mean, it kind of is, but how else are you going to make it so that like sacrificing or so that dying is important at all the time? Like, and you're not just always going to 3 item. UIM? Well, that is, yeah. I said it a little bit earlier, but like what I want to do is I want to find a balance between Iron Man, where like dying is not punishing enough, and Ultimate Iron Man, where dying is too punishing. Sounds so painful. At that point, you might as well be an ultimate. You'd use up all your expensive items and herbs, so you wouldn't need to worry about losing them. I mean, this way I get to keep things, though, if I die. Like, I have played an ultimate on PvP worlds only, and it's like you get to play the game until you die, and then you have to start over, pretty much. And it would be even worse on a chunk account, too. So, Maybe make it more like you need a niche type of PvP kill to get access to the items again. I mean, I don't know how, like, I don't know how I would actually get, like, a legit kill. If I were to kill someone, it would be like an AFK chunker at this tree. And, like, you know, someone could just pretend to be AFK and then I just kill him or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know how, like, actually PKing on this account would work without, like, people, like, feeding me, you know? Keep your entire cash stack with you at all time? Well, I also have the, like, I have to buy the bank slots, right? The one for every banker that I can purchase them from. And so that would be just as punishing, right? Losing that entire cash stack, having to work towards it. And especially, like, if I were to make a series out of this, then I'd have a target on my back the entire time, you know? Keep all items on you noted. That sounds as close as I could get to an ultimate. Swole mode? Fun, fun? Yeah, I always thought it was weird how, like, you can die and literally nothing changes. Like, if you are a hardcore, then you lose something. If you're not a hardcore, then it just wastes time. That's it. You become the Chunk Reaper until you get a kill. I mean, like, I don't know if you see this, but, like, it's pretty dead here. And I couldn't legit get a kill. Like, my best food right now, without doing combat, is beer. Like, if I were to legitimately fight anyone, I would lose unless they gave me their life on purpose. And that doesn't feel good. Every pound you lift IRL gets you XP in-game. Ah. Nice. Perhaps your bank value can't exceed a certain amount per total level, Chunkman? So they're just, like, sacrificing stuff because it's worth too much? The difficulty of getting a kill on a Supreme Chunk-locked account would be part of the allure. Well, I just don't think that, like, if I'm going to PK someone, it wouldn't be a real PK. Sorry, my voice is getting a little shot. New chunker? Hey, you Jack. Yeah, I'm testing this out and kind of bouncing ideas off of chat here. Yeah, negative. DPS is just beer, I know. You think I could do it? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know if anyone would want to watch me kill the same AFK chunker at this tree over and over. chunker on PvP sounds hard enough. Well, I mean, for some people it sounds hard enough, but like, I don't know, like, when you, like, what a lot of extremes do is they just sit here, they lose their hardcore, and then they just continue sitting there for hours and hours and hours and hours, dying and dying and dying and dying. And it doesn't matter that they die at all. And I don't think that that is doing, like, justice to PvP worlds. I mean, it's because they're not PvP accounts, right? But in a... Why can't I light a fire here? Oh, wait. No, I just did it wrong. But, like, if it is like a legit PvP account, I feel like that's not, like... I don't know, I feel like that's selling PvP worlds short. Like, at that point, there's, like, not much point to PvP worlds. I don't know. Like, eventually, being a PvP account would be hard enough. Like, when you're trying to do, like, a big grind and you're high level. You know? You could do the in debt for a pet style forfeit. Oh. Which means if you die... Sorry, I'm dying. If you die, you have to temporarily leave your chunk. Go to the duel arena. Stake your entire bag. Huh. Well, that kind of takes away the chunk part of PvP chunk, doesn't it? Maybe that would be one of the ways you could absolve your death at higher levels. Maybe not immediately. Yeah, I think PvP should be integral, but, like, ultimately my goal, like, I'm not going to add chunk, like, tasks for killing people. So, like, it has to be included in a different way. But, like, still working towards, like, the main thing is I need to finish these tasks in this chunk, which are the supreme ones. I feel like it's been a while. How have things been? Things have been pretty good. Can't complain too much. We passed 60% banked with secateurs, which I don't have secateurs, but we'll gloss over that. Almost to 50% without secateurs, which is great. Got a peace out, Buzz. Keep up the good work. The smarty pants in chat here will help you figure it out. Thanks. Have a good night. Have to get a pretty high level because of 99 defense. Yeah, it'll be like level 90 combat, something like that. I'm cutting and burning oaks. It is true. I have a certain oak fetish, perhaps. I don't know. Ready for a new skill in OSRS? Well, ready or not, here it comes. I'm not particularly excited about a new skill. Have you put thought into choosing a different starting chunk on a PvP world? Maybe it's a chunk that's limiting the kickoff decount? Well, like, I think it doesn't really make sense to have another starting chunk on PvP worlds other than the one that you spawn in, because the plan is to die a good bit. So I'd have to either, like, make an exception to, like, set a new spawn point, or I don't know. But I don't know, there's something about Lumbridge that's kind of iconic for Chunkman. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least we'll have this, the woodcutting cape. But I think off the bat, I'm gonna put in the exception that I probably wouldn't go for the tangle route right away if I roll that chunk, because I don't want to be doing that at the same time as going for tangle route on a different account. I don't know. I'm excited to do the task style, but it sounds like you guys aren't as sold. I made a second account to do it. Well, this, if you have keen eyes, is not woodcutting. This is something totally different, but does happen to involve the same logs that I must have woodcutted at some point. I'm not sure why all my accounts are hunting tangle root. Couldn't be the rules, could it? No. Woodcutting 2? Yeah, well, if they made woodcutting 2, which it sounds like forestry is going to be woodcutting 2, I'd accept woodcutting 2 and that's it. I would rather not have reskinned summoning or a minigame or a spellbook as a new skill. Thanks. I don't know if the plugin's allowed, but on death, you can maybe have accessible area shrink. One tile around, getting kills restores the account. I don't know how I do that. Hey, Denofa. What's going on here? I'm testing out another account and just bouncing ideas off of chat because chat's always smarter than me. This is a Supreme account that is locked to PvP worlds starting in Lumbridge, essentially. And we're trying to figure out how to keep death relevant. What I plan on doing right now is making it into a chunk, or sorry, it briefly loses some sort of prestige, and it has to work towards other goals, other items that I can obtain in the chunk to sacrifice them in order to get back in good graces with death. That's my current thought, but the idea is being shot down pretty hard, so I'm not sure if that'll be the end thing. But while I decide I need to not die. Hey, my menace? Maybe? Something like that? You went sailing so we can have a viable use for the pirate Jolly Roger. You get in the wildy. Fair. Yeah, I don't know of a plugin that would do that. I could learn how to write plugins. But I'm pretty sure they're in Java. So maybe I'll avoid that. Could do the same thing Telecon is doing with RevCave's lock of a punishment roulette. Punishment roulette. Well, I mean, that's kind of what my tasks would be. I'll show it again. Like, what I have right now is I'll summon items I have to get and sacrifice. And if I already have them, they would be... the entire stack in my bank would have to get sacrificed. Something like that. That way, like, it still hurts. Like, if I lose my stack of willow seeds, it would hurt, right? But it wouldn't hurt the same as if a UIM died, right? So that's what I'm thinking right now, but I don't know. Think the idea sounds great. I'll take it. Gotcha, Augury, gotcha. Like the idea of tasks that are in the chunk, but you have to figure out what tasks you could do and get here. What if a death results in a tank test instead of a kill? Well, I mean, I'd be tank testing with beer right now. And like, then wouldn't I just kind of die again? Oh no. New chunk lock starting in Lumbridge? Yeah, pretty much. Just something to play on the side. This is PvP only. You could, if you could, I explained it like 5 minutes ago. If you could go back briefly, you can do that on YouTube, not as easily on Twitch. So, but the general idea is it's a Supreme Chunker starting in Lumbridge, restricted to PvP worlds with some kind of consequence of death because I don't want to just 3-item all the time. That's not fun. If you lose the tank test, you lose a rare item? Getting worse at it? Well, it's good to throw ideas out, see what sticks, you know? You could bar an equipment slot every time you die until you do X amount of tedious task. Kinda already have to do a lot of tedious tasks. I'm gonna have no voice by the end of the stream. Well, thankfully it'll be a shorter stream because my sister-in-law has to go into work early tomorrow, so I can only go for like another hour. So, but my voice is already feeling it. I don't talk this much at work. I'm a programmer, and I went to choir tonight already, so I already sang a lot. Like, maybe I just need to like disrespectfully ignore half the questions and just do a little grunt instead. Hey, Big Nipples. I'm great. How are you, Big Nipples? Nothing but explaining it. Yeah, I know. It's perhaps a bad time to put it out there. I know. Am I baiting the engineer to hunt me down? I mean, maybe that was him that killed me. I don't know. Whoever it was someone that wanted to kill level 3s and have no question about it. I'll tell ya. But that's okay. What about sacrificing the most valuable X items in your bank? Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, I could always have to carry 3 stacks of my most expensive items at all times. That's kind of a way. That'll be like kind of the other way of making death cost something all the time. Hey, you made it you made it? Nice. Thank you. I didn't know you could do that, but I'm glad Daryl knows that you can do that. I probably should have preemptively made that, shouldn't I? If I knew I was going to do this. Anyway. Hey, Personius K. Welcome, welcome. Every time the PvP Supreme dies, you have to talk to HR about some corporate buzzword topic. Please define inclusion. What is team synergy? Define EOD, SOP, EOM, FYI, PLZ. That's why I made you a mod. This moment, the culmination of Daryl's mod. Hey Soda, welcome, welcome. Oh. Well, more specifically, it's a PvP locked Supreme Chunk Ironman, right? Hey Mitchie, also confused? You just didn't want to type it all. That's fair. I'll do my spiel again because we seem to have a rotating cast here tonight. So this account is kind of a work in progress, and I'm kind of just showing it on stream to brainstorm while doing something safe. But so the idea is it's a chunk account, a Supreme Chunk account, locked to Lumbridge as a starting chunk, and it can only play on PvP worlds. And that sounds fine and dandy, but the problem that I'm trying to overcome right now is that it's like actually after you lose your hardcore, you can pretty much just 3-item like a whole lot of stuff, and then it takes away the entire PvP aspect of this account. So I want to keep that relevant. I'm trying to find a way. And what I coming into tonight, what I had thought would be I'd have some sort of like task kind of thing, kind of like how Generate Task has a spreadsheet and he has to do collection log slots. But this, I'd have to get an obtainable item within this chunk and sacrifice it. Like this would be a pretty easy one. I could do that without combat at all, actually. But some of these would be difficult, and I'd have to train quite a bit. Still don't have a diamond ring yet. An uncooked egg. So I have to kill imps for the egg. Anyway, so then that would like keep me from camping level 3 the entire time. And and like deaths would cost something. I don't know. But I'm here to gain ideas. I'm not like 100% sold on that, but I don't know. I'm just trying to get an idea of what my comment section would look like if that were if that were in the first episode. Okay, I missed chat while I was talking. Secateurs win, who knows? I don't think, honestly, I check every time there's a game update, I check the like other changes, and there are never secateurs. I don't have a whole lot of hope, not gonna lie. Supreme is mind-boggling. It's a little bit. The farming patch is right next to it. Won't you need to do the same grind? Well, yeah, I'm gonna start, because I don't want to do the same grind like back to back on 2 different accounts. I'm gonna add like an exception for Tangle Root right off the bat. I think people could understand that. Probably should have done it on Faladaddy, honestly, but I'd still have to do the magic tree, you know, which I'm okay with. Are you worried about people griefing? Well, yeah, I mean, I have to, that's why I can't do like an ultimate, because then I'll literally just get griefed, and there's like no way to come back from it. There's only 3 worlds and like 64 by 64 tiles I could be on. and I can't teleport, and I'm living off beer, so it can't be so impossibly impossible, you know. I need to have some sort of retention, but I need to lose more than nothing when I 3-item, you know. So if you die, you have to drop all items on you. Then, like, I can't do any 3-items. Another way of phrasing it is I always have to play on the high-risk world. I do think it should scale in some manner. Like, it could be, like, if I continue with my current, like, thought, I could make it so that, like, the amount of things I have to sacrifice goes down with the number of chunks I have unlocked. Because right now 5 isn't like too hard, but like if I get to the point where I have to redo a bunch of really hard items, then it when I get more chunks, it might be difficult. So give a bond to a Patreon each time we die. I don't know where I would fund that. $47. Release first episode when you wanna, and ask the comments what they think about it also. Well, I kind of want to, like, before I release episode 1, I want to have, like, a pretty firm rule set. So that's kind of why I'm showing it on stream, so I don't have to do that, if that makes sense. If you see someone you can't attack, you must attack. So I become the griever. You can only stop it if they ask you to. I mean, I don't think I have the heart to do that. Pick chunks on this one? Maybe. I mean, the point's kind of to make it harder, not easier, though. I don't know. Kangaroo Grind's a series ender. Yeah. That's a really gosh darn hard pet, isn't it? Welcome to my Impossible Chunk Man. This is the only episode. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. What about you let comments choose what items you lose if you die? Like interact with the community, take a poll after every episode, make a post after every death. Well, then I'd have to make a poll that includes every item I own or could own. I don't think the polls in YouTube will let you do that. And like with that many items, 3 people vote something and then it will win. I don't know. See ya, Mitchie. See ya, you, Jack. Thanks for stopping by. Every time you die, you start a new Supreme OneChunk account and play it simultaneously. I start a new Falador Supreme OneChunk every death. Yeah, it also adds a lot of delay. Because, like, I die. Then I have to, like, wait a little bit before I do anything. Even picking chunks, this will be hard. Because of PvP. Yeah. Supreme PvP is hard enough. Well, I mean, I don't think... Well, I was wondering that too. Is it hard enough just having 4 worlds, no random events, able to get attacked by everybody? But I just don't like the idea of being able to 3-item and it being like okay by my series rules, because it seems weak. Unless, like, I have to, like, if someone's camping me, that's why I have, like, immunity for while I'm completing those those items that get rolled. So that way people can't just, like, continually kill me and I just lose all my progress. So that way, like, there'll be some deaths that are somewhat meaningless, but then some that are not. Pull the top 5 value stacks in your bank. So then I'd only get rid of, like, one of my top 5 valuable. I choose from the top 4 valuable. I mean, I feel like then I could kind of work around, like, this this intentional roadblock. You know, like, I could collect ashes that are useless and make them my most expensive stack and just choose that one. Has anyone asked about this account on PvP World yet? Not really. No. Well, there's one guy that was trying to talk to me, and that's how I lost my hardcore. Let me tell you. So, the guy that got my hardcore, he tried to kill me, and he was unsuccessful the first time. But I added his account so I could see if he was online. But I forgot to turn my private off, so it's still on friends, so he could see that I was online. And then and I had lost my, like, starting bread and shrimp from his first attack, so then he just, like, found me and killed me, and all I had was beer while I was trying to get some beef. It's pretty sad. But I figure, like, for the first death, losing hardcore is enough of a punishment, so... Race to a fun weapon, then become the griefer. I mean, I don't know how to race to anything on a Supreme Chunker. Play Always Scold. Yeah, I could always play on the high-risk world. Then 3-iteming becomes playing Trashman mode, where I just always do it with a bronze axe. But then, like, even then it'd be like, even... I don't know. Sorry, my brain just went somewhere totally else while I was trying to think about that. If you go into a dangerous area, you have to wear best in slot gear for what you're doing, if more than 3 items. Best in slot gear. Well then, wouldn't I, like, just let myself get killed And then, like, my best in slot gear is like a bronze medium helm. And like a lot about what you care about on these accounts is not things that are wearable. Like I'd be much more sad about losing my oak logs or my coins. Or any of my like tree seeds. You know? Pull chat comments. The pool chooses from the top four you have. Oh, the poll. The poll chooses. Could do that. I think the problem with that is that, like, pretty much I feel like the decisions of a poll would either always be the worst thing to lose or like the best thing to lose, right? Depending on who's in the community. Like anything in between would never get voted on. Like I could have like coins and like oak logs and like, well, I guess then there'd be probably some discrepancies. I don't know. Hey, David Foster, welcome to Initiate. That's one of the ranks of White Knights, in case you're curious. That's supposed to be the theme. I'm still confused about like which one's which, but Initiate, I know that's an armor, so. So thanks for joining. I think you're forgetting the honor rule. You have integrity of a lot of people. A lot of people don't. So some of these concerns about 3-iteming won't happen because you're a real G. Well, I mean, like if I am being constantly killed and there are only 3 worlds I can get the beaver on, and I'm right here. And the only other options are these oaks up here. Or the willow trees. Like I can't hide. People could just constantly kill me. And so then like it would make sense to 3-item, you know? I don't know. How much for an autograph? Well, my autograph is not particularly attractive. It does look like a 4th grader just learned cursive. So I don't know how valuable that would be. And I feel like if you give an autograph, like someone can just like, I don't know, put that on a check and then suddenly I have no money. How does that work? I don't know. What if you just put the something of the items, but not the item name to hide it? Oh, the value of the item. I could, but then that would be like even more. People would just pick the highest or the lowest value, right? And like the GE value of items doesn't mean anything for this account, right? So basing things off the GE price doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know. Can't you make it like Demimon? Drop the highest value item in your bank each death? I mean, I could. Kind of goes back to the GE thing, though. Drop a random number, roll that slot. See, what I like about the roll an item, it's not necessarily an item that you have. So like I will be working towards chunk completion at the same time as like doing my side tracking, you know? So it's also providing direction. The XP value of an item. What's the XP value of leather boots? I don't think every item has an XP value. But if you're talking about the most XP, I mean that could also be a little confusing because like if it's an herb, right now it has no value to me. And like, you know, you can get experience from it in a lot of different ways. Like toad flax could be agility potions or could be sorrow brews. Vastly different XP. Not sure. If you die, you have to do a 1 to 99 RNG and drop 50% rounded up of the 1 to 10 most valuable items you have in your bank. So roll a number between 1 and 10. Drop half. Of that. Yeah, that way sounds like less. That sounds like less potentially punishing than a lot of the suggestions. Or I think that'd even be less punishing than the one I have right now. Not sure. Roll a random number, drop that slot. Like just in my bank, drop whatever's there. No bank tabs allowed. What if when you die, you have to do a random IRL workout? The more fitter I get. Well, I don't know how I'd prove that if I like don't really want to like show my face necessarily. The only thing they know me for is my 10-pack. I also don't particularly have a whole lot of workout equipment here. I have some dumbbells. I should probably record, like, some of these levels I'm getting, huh? A good YouTuber would do that. Maybe the next one. We'll see. It'll change based on the grind, yeah. Roll a random number 1 to X, where X is your completed non-quest, non-pet tasks. Whatever number you roll, you go do that task again. Could be a longbone, coin pouch, grow a magic tree. Yeah, like that's kind of along the lines I was thinking. Some kind of like redoing or reobtaining or losing something somehow. I don't know. Like something like that was kind of one of my original thoughts. I was thinking like do an entire completed drop table over again, which is probably too punishing. It doesn't scale well. like this chunk would probably be fine. Now, if I follow Limpert and head straight to the KQ, not so much. But redoing one task, maybe. Even though, like, if it's a completed task, it's usually pretty trivial to complete it again. The main thing is grinding to do it again, you know? Like, grinding to get it. That's the hard part. Hey, 101 RS. Good to see ya in the YouTube chat this time. Record the next level so you can start your winter taunt. Lock PvP account. There we go. New chunk account? What? Hey, Lonnie Hawkins. Yeah, Daryl put a command. I'm kind of bouncing ideas about this account. But in general, it's a PvP locked Supreme starting in Lumbridge. And there's going to be more to it because, like, you can just... I don't think that... that without any more rules, it kind of takes away from the PvP aspect because you can just, like 3-item, you know? Also, I'm planning on having whatever the death punishment is just be related to PvP deaths. Because I think if you die to like KQ or pickpocketing or something, I don't think it really makes sense to have to redo something. Because the additional like cost would be related to the PvP worlds, making them harder. Can you like other people's logs? I don't think so. But I guess I can't say for sure. Probably not. On Faladaddy, I have 4 foods that I can eat, and somehow I haven't misclicked them. Why is he... Oh, there you go, Kevin. As you get weapons, you have to get a kill with it before moving on to the next. The next weapon? I think it's a problem. I don't know, I just have a hard time thinking that making it part of the rules that I have to kill people would be like well received, because like you know, I could just make a level 3 and just sacrifice him every time that I need to, you know? And it would fit in the rules. It just like I don't know. And like if it's not me, who's to say that like BuzzFan 4006 isn't like, please kill me. I want to see a video. I want to be in the video. I don't know. All drops 1 out of X, where X is the number of deaths in your current shot. First death, just bones. I'm not sure I understand what X, all drops 1 out of X. I'm not sure I understand it. Sorry. Oh, I'm in the wilderness. Ah, ah. What about a simple rule where your death means you have to change tasks you're currently working on? I mean, as it is, that's kind of what it does, because like a lot of the items would be working towards other tasks that are chunk tasks usually, like completing a drop table, for instance, or getting a higher level in fletching or something, you know? Definitely hard to think of a new, unique idea. Well, I'm not particularly concerned about if it's new or unique. I just want something that fits. That makes sense for like a PvP chunk account. And I personally really like the idea of like a task account, because I've never seen someone do like a chunk account where the goals are chunk tasks or chunk items or something like that. But like your path is determined by like how task accounts do it with the collection log, where they roll the next collection log they have to work towards. So that concept interests me. I don't know how like popular task accounts are, but if you die 23 times this chunk, you need to get an extra Guam leaf. Oh, so it's like about... I see. So it's related to drop rates. I getcha. Dying and losing your stuff should be enough punishment? Well, like, I can kind of play so that I don't lose my stuff, though. And, like, on your average day, especially before I create a YouTube video, or if I do create a YouTube video about this, it's pretty dead. Like, there's not a whole lot going on most days. Been playing it for a couple weeks, so... It's hard finding the time, energy, and motivation. Yeah, I will say Coffee Cake seems to have a lot of ideas. He comes up with a lot of ideas. He's good at that for sure. Actually doing it is the hard part. Hey Hava, welcome, welcome. If you die, you have to kill 100 of the highest level NPC in your chunk. So in this case, I'd have to kill... Oh, I was supposed to record that. Just in the chat, I definitely didn't miss it. 50 fire making. We're now headed to Wintertide. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see if I like that. Might have to re-record over it. What is the highest level NPC in this chunk? I don't think there's level 5 goblins. Probably something level 2? I don't know what else would be higher. I guess that would scale with, like, the difficulty of NPCs in your chunk. Would make it harder to camp low combat. So like, I unlock Tazar and I just have to, every time I die, kill 100 Zucks. There might have to be some adjustments to that. It will be dead for a while until you make content about it. Yeah, probably. It should be a chunk goal to speak to Hava. I've looked and I haven't seen him. I ran out of run energy. Oh my. Got a new extreme chunker idea? Nice, nice. With Druidic Ritual Bypass and another 3 mandatory quests, it requires 70. I think I know what you're going on about. I think I know. What about if you die in a chunk? Roll a new chunk that's connected to your chunk to make your chunk goals harder. Or impossible. I mean, like if I roll a chunk that doesn't have anything to thieve, I can't get my Rocky Pet anymore. I feel like you can get in some weird situations. And like every time I would die, I'd spawn back in Lumbered, or like back in this chunk. So I kind of always want to have this lumpy chunk unlocked. So far your suggestions have been focused on the PvP part, making it so you would be more interested in participating yourself. Increase chunk tasks by 1. Example, you need to level 60 woodcutting chop a yew tree, 961.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Need a rare drop, 92. And like, would every death up all of the chunk requirements by 1? I think then, like, you know, 1 death could increase my farming requirement from 75 to 76 every single time I die. So there might have to be some kind of cap. Because 1 farming level takes a long time. And it's really easy to die, especially after I probably upload a video about this and people are trying to grief me, you know? Which is fine, you know, I'm playing in PvP worlds. And telling people about it, so sure. You want to see someone make a UIM on RS3? Like a chunk UIM? Yeah, I'm not sure if that's being done. But I will admit, I have not seen a lot of RS3 content since EOC.
Oh, yeah.
RS3 chunkmen are impossible? I know there's some. Hey! Let me, this one. Alright, I gotta maximize. Faladaddy. We got a doable step. And recently I just haven't had the patience for juggling, so we're gonna try it. We'll see. Oh, we spin. Hiya! It is not. Alright. Thanks for joining me. Back to the bridge. I think someone had said that there was a Supreme Chunker in RS3, but he quit, which would make sense to me. But I don't know anything about the chunking universe in RS3, honestly. You're having glass noodles for dinner? I have no idea what glass noodles are. Glass noodles. That requires a little Google search. Glass noodles. What are those? Oh, like stir-fry noodles? I may have had them before. I'm not sure. But generally, I do love noodles. Hey, Flippas. Yeah, Flippas, maybe. It's a Korean dish. I don't think I've had enough Korean dishes in my life to this point. Korean barbecue beef bowls are amazing. I don't think I've ever had Korean barbecue, but I've heard Korean and barbecue in sentences next to each other quite frequently. So it sounds like something I'll have to do some point. Can make them at home in less than 20 minutes. Oh, we don't have any Koreans in our home. Change your life. So, from the feedback I've gotten so far, it sounds like this account, people would probably say either PvP on, or like PvP chunking in and of itself is hard enough, or they would say some kind of other way of making up your deaths. Or maybe people would be okay with it, and this is just a brainstreaming session where I'm asking you guys for other ideas. I don't know. Like, if it's presented as this is how it is, maybe there wouldn't be as much of coming up with other ideas. Get requirements for LMS. Then if you die in your chunk, you have to go to LMS World Ferox until you get a win. After you get a win, you can go back to PvP Worlds and continue the grind. I think the problem with that is then, like, all of my interaction on PvP World is, like, just dying and leaving. So, like, the actual PvP aspect is just, like, getting me off PvP Worlds, which I don't plan to, like, leave PvP Worlds. Then it's kind of hard to call it a PvP locked chunk account. I don't know. You say PvP is hard enough with being supreme, but that's just you. So many rules that get lost. I feel like I could lay it out in a way that makes sense in a video. Just in form like this, it sounds complicated. Like what I was planning on doing is like introducing it through like I die and then there's like some sort of like, I don't want to call anything I do cinematic, but like there's like, you know, I do voice acting for like Father Eric or something, and he teaches me about how to escape death and stuff like that. I feel like it could be introduced in a way that isn't as confusing. This is the first account that's done PvP only as a chunk man. Whatever you decided with you. Because again, you're a rare breed, Buzz. You got conviction. I guess I do have a little bit of that, don't I? What would a Ferrax starting chunk man consist of? I don't know. Probably that LMS cape for the rest of eternity. Check out Mr. Mulch, he started there. Check him out. A 45-page snowflake explanation with yellow text and black background. What I love the most is where you just like have a Google Doc with all your rules and you're like, hey, this is an account. The rules are in the description. Let's get started. Then nobody knows what's going on. I think I've seen some accounts do that. Just gotta keep it simple. Yeah. Which is why, like, I was trying to think initially of a way to, like, make it so I can still progress while the inevitability of being camped on only 3 worlds is out there. So, like, you know, it's really hard because, like, you'd probably want to eventually be like, well, if someone kills you so many times doing the same activity, then you get to leave PvP worlds. Then you have to come back after this amount of time, or you've done something, or something like that. And that just sounds like a lot of little small asterisk text at the bottom of your advertisement, you know? Wait, what if instead of deaths, you have to get a kill in a certain way to unlock your next task? Like, make death a part of a positive accomplishment to move you forward? Get a kill in a certain way. What kind of thing do you mean? I'm just not super sold on the idea of having to get a kill to progress anything, because that can be like cheesed pretty easily. And I don't know if this would be like a game mode anyone else would want to play, but kind of have to think about that. Like, I might not have I would definitely never do something like that, but like, you know, if it would be a new game mode, the way that you say this is how PvP Chunkman should be played, you probably don't want to have a way that is so easily exploited. Although I will say, usually chunk accounts, they're usually made by people who want to make videos for whatever reason. So that would look bad in a video, so they probably shouldn't do that. Every time you die, you add a new rule and restriction. So if you die too much, your rules eventually get to be like 10 pages long. Oh yeah. Everyone would love that. Me most of all. He isn't extreme or supreme. He's not doing LMS. So he's just a normal chunker. Let's see. The rules change every episode. That's kind of like a series that LSD Broski did briefly. I think the problem with it, like a rules change every episode kind of thing, is like you get to decide when the episodes come out. So if you really don't want to do it, you just say, alright, it's episode time. Had 10 minutes of killing men. I can put that in a video. You don't know which series is more insane, the Extreme Chunkman or the Extreme Collection Log series? I haven't seen his Extreme Collection Log, but I probably should, especially if I'm thinking of doing something related to like a task account, kind of. Except for if what Daryl said is true and he gets to pick the log, then it's not as... It's actually not too much like this then. Maybe you pull a few different weapons you can use and have to get a kill with one to unlock your next task. And if you die, you can no longer use that item until you unlock a new task with another. That sounds a little complicated. Might be hard to explain that rule. You're grasping at straws. Yeah, that one, Daryl. Trying to kind of combine with the whole kill idea. Yeah, I picked up on that. Hoping to have your first chunk done on your extreme by Sunday. Hey, congrats. By Sunday, hopefully. Def took a lot longer than you thought it would have. Yeah, I think extreme in general usually takes a longer than people think it will. Why does fire making exist as a skill? Seems kind of useless. Could have been part of woodcutting. I mean, it's so old. I don't know. I remember seeing somewhere that like the skills were based kind of off of like Dungeons and Dragons skills, kind of. He's at like 150 million fire making XP going for Dragon X. Slot at Wintertod. Can't do another log till he greens the current one he's working on. Nice. I'll have to give it a watch. I was watching his task series, which made me think of this current idea. He only let YouTube and not streams decide? Yeah. That's a flaw. Who wouldn't want to make a fire? True. Or Verif's having the worst time. Is having the worst time than any chunk man to ever have chunked. Yeah, his I don't know if you consider it a dry streak yet because he's not at the jar rate yet, but he's going through it, I'll tell you. The problem with letting YouTube choose is a lot of times it's hard to turn their ideas into a video. Yeah, just one comment, you usually can't flush out a whole idea. He's so upbeat about it. Yeah, I mean, you kind of gotta be. If you're down about it, that's not fun for people to watch, and you'll, you know, you probably won't do what you want to do. That kind of makes sense. I would say I'm upbeat about my Falador account. Yeah, he's doing all those sorts of accounts at once, which is crazy to me. I mean, I'm doing 2, and it's already like, you know, it's like playing on 2 accounts at once. You'll get burnt out being negative about it. Saw 2 other known villager chunkers on YouTube, both already quit. Yeah. I've seen quite a few new extreme or extreme-ish chunkers recently. And they haven't given me very positive vibes about the duration of their series. I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, it was the Yanil Chunk guy. He said that he was considering the curved bone from ogres as a meme drop rate. And it's, I don't know. For me personally, it's really hard to take that seriously. Yeah, he's semi-extreme. I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit too much of a purist, probably. But like, isn't the only thing that is extreme about him is skill capes and high level challenges? Like the highest skill level challenge? I don't know. I'm trying to remember what I saw in that video. Is he going for the magic cape? Like, he probably should be. No, I should stop talking. I don't mean to beef. I'm just trying to figure out the rules and how they relate. No magic cape? Yeah. I have a hard time understanding why you wouldn't do a magic cape, personally. Like, if you can train magic to get in, like, you should be able to. I guess I haven't looked at that chunk enough, but if he has a way to train magic, let me see, how would he do that? He has men. Don't have air runes. That's true. You can't buy the runes. Still hand in the sand, actually. That's out of know. So yeah, maybe that makes sense. Never mind. I'm gonna stop beefing. Jonathan Thompson. I am, oh, someone else did the exclamation mark thing. This is, yeah, so the small account is Faladaddy at the usual spot. And the other account is a PvP Supreme Chunker that we're kind of trying to figure out what the exact rules should be, because I don't want him for the entire PvP lifespan to just be, I'm either in a safe zone or or 3-iteming, doing whatever tasks I need to do. Want to keep the PvP world aspect important. So I'm showing him on stream so y'all can shoot holes in my favorite plan. 66 magic on just drops. Gets videos out faster. Yeah, I mean, I'm not... I know it's a little bit different because I'm a chunker, not like only a viewer, but like it gets like sacrificing the integrity of your series for getting videos out faster just doesn't feel good to me personally, which is why you never see any videos for me. Hey Travis. It's Supreme. Yes, which someone already answered, but I am Slothman. Slothman mode.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Slight confusing your pickle brain. I'm sorry, Jonathan. Oh. What if your XP locked when you die? You're forbidden to get more XP in your skill until you either sacrifice half your bank or get a kill montage. I see. I will say, just to kind of close the topic on talking about the Yanil guy, I do think it is okay for like individual players to like pick their own rules when it comes to chunking, because each chunk is so different and each person who's doing the chunking is so different and like can only like sustain a certain like, you know, level of difficulty. It's okay. My only thing is just like what, you know, your rules have, in general, people want to think of them as fitting in a bucket, either vanilla, extreme, and then nobody is in the bucket with me of supreme, but it's over there somewhere. And so I think that is like my only qualm of just trying to put it in a firm bucket. And for me, if I were to put it in that firm bucket of extreme, I would do something different, but it is not my account, so like I think sometimes I forget about that. Posture water rune check? What's rune? I don't have any runes, do I? I've been chugging water because my voice is getting shot, which I don't know if water does anything, but it feels like it briefly. Have I been getting the free 30-minute runes? I have been. Not this stream though, because I don't want them to get sniped. When I drop them on PvP worlds, they appear instantly to everyone. And so I don't want to lose my stack because of stream snipers, which I don't think would happen, but I don't want to risk it right now. Does that make sense? Also, with the current, like, with my current thing, is like, suddenly I die, and like, then one of my things is like air runes, and I have to sacrifice all of my air runes I've collected this entire chunk. That's a possibility. Just saying. Hey Soren, what's needed on Faladaddy for chunk roll? So I have 75 farming. I need to get 88 for a +3 boost to finish the elite diary requirement to get, is it triple, quadruple? Some amount of magic roots at level 91. So that's what we're working towards right now. I also need 87 magic on that account. And I'm hoping for Tangle Root, but if I don't get it by the time I get 88 farming, I'll just backlog Tangle Root and try again another time. Because that is a long process there. It can't reasonably be grinded out at this stage, probably. Can't you just instantly use them? Or is there a penalty in place for deaths? Well, I'm trying to figure out the penalty for deaths. I'll show it again. Right now, my thought is that we'll have something like this, and when we die, we have to sacrifice some items that are obtainable or obtained in this chunk, and I'd have to get rid of all the coins in my bank right there. So if I have the item, I'd have to get rid of it, the entire stack. If I didn't have it, I'd have to go get it and sacrifice it. So that's just the current thought. But the main reason I don't want to use them right now is because I have such low combat, and I don't want to break that right now. If I died, and there's a task that required me to get some combat, well then I'd just probably use them. Because I don't want to risk losing them, you know. But I will say, because I don't have any random events in PvP worlds, I can't get any runes better than Chaos runes. So the magic requirement in this chunk is only level 35. Which is pretty easy. Even in safe zones? I was thinking that like that sort of death redemption way through the summoning talismans and sacrificing them would only be through PvP deaths. Wonder what the XP rate will be for his magic XP from drops. Maybe it's literally a meme to get 9 on magic. Yeah, it could be. Probably find out when you're working towards 66. Is there a way chat can vote on which item is sacrificed per death? Yeah, there was discussion of that. I personally would rather have a random number generator decide over a poll or something. Are there any death chunks near Falador? I would say the north chunk would be pretty difficult, depending on the sequence in which I get chunks. Because I'd have to get 98 smithing from that chunk without having access to any rocks. So that could be difficult. So I'm really hoping I get get either the east or west chunk first. Oh, gotta tell this guy. Valley west chunk only for now. The response never changes. it would be really easy for an AI to like come up with a response to people just like based off of a couple of my interactions. Usually ends in thank you, and then I do a bow. Let's see. Mining Guild? Yeah, Mining Guild could be a death chunk. Kinda. Well, it depends on how you define death chunk, but... How long until you accidentally log into the wrong world? Well, I switched over to the Jagex launcher, so each Runelight instance can only log into one account, which I think will help in that case. Oh yeah, I don't know about dropping him in a safe zone. Something to test, but I don't want to yoink another account over here right now. I guess someone could come here and drop something, and I'll let you know if I see it right away. If you're that curious. Or I could probably just read about it. Oh, hey, Douse. Douse, maybe? Welcome. I see that Nightbot and Daryl and Brennan got you sorted. South Chunk first? South Chunk would be okay. Wouldn't complain too much. I just hope that I wouldn't have to backlog the Rift Guardian pet or whatever. But realistically, probably would. I've reported all these guys like 10 times. They're still here. I'm convinced nothing actually happens. You could lose an inventory slot per death, capped at 1 being the lowest. And you could regain this slot by getting a certain amount of XP. True. I think in this chunk that wouldn't have much of an impact right now. Also, there'd have to be a little bit more information about a certain amount of XP. Because if it's just woodcutting, and if it's like 100k XP, well, that'd be pretty easy. PvP Wilderness locked UIM. Walk only. I saw that Sir Parker posted a video. I hadn't watched it yet. What's bad about the mining guild? The mining guild, I have to get, likewise, I have to get 98 smithing over there. I also have to get 99 smithing, the rock golem pet. Debatably, I'd have to get 99 construction, depending on if you consider teleporting to the house valid. And with that would come like at least 1 million white knight kills for law runes and 420 million coins. And then also I'd probably land 50 agility, so I'd have to get the squirrel pet. Pretty high crafting for amethyst, stuff like that. There's just a lot to do over there. more importanter. Everyone's importanter. Oh, how many frog tokens do I have? I'm curious. Let me check the bank. Frog. This is number 120. It's quite a few. At least it's traditional mining and smithing training. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it's like I would have a furnace, which would be great. The what's it? The anvil would be pretty far away, which would be unfortunate. But I could also just do like struts, which there's someone, is he on right now? Oh, this is the wrong account. He's not. Buzz Strutear is his name. He's doing a Supreme account on the other side of Falador, and he's doing a lot of struts right now, I'll tell you that. I hope he makes a video someday. I think he said he planned on it, but we'll see. You could do what most chunkers do. If you can't access house by portal, you can't use it. I mean, that makes most sense to me. It fits most closely with like Limpwert's chunk rolling rule kind of thing that he goes with. Strat locked. Yeah, it'd be a lot of bag plants and over 420 million coins to buy like the best XP per GP ones. And that 420 mil mark is like not including like the scaling cost of buying more than one bag plant, so it would be more than that eventually. Like if you were to actually do it, it would cost more, but no less than 420 mil. You get more Gravedigg randoms than Annie, not complaining. Yeah, when you have no bank, is probably not really a reason to do a lot of those. That's Gravedigger, obviously. Yeah, Gravedigger has a deposit box, which is good for accounts that don't start in a bank chunk. $18 long modes at once. Should I try to kill this guy? Let's see. If he responded, he'd just kill me. What do you think, boys? He's got 13 HP. I think I need to see him idle for a bit before I go in for the jugular. But if I died to him, then I'd have to make a decision about about my death rules. Or what if he's baiting me? He's idling for a long time. See, I got a steel axe from a beginner clue on this account, but I can't. A steel dagger. I don't know what I said, but I got a steel dagger from a beginner clue. I can't wear it yet, but it would, if I could, he'd be dead right now. Is he hardcore? See. No. Not hardcore. So I wouldn't even have to feel bad about it. It's my tree? Hey. My willow's done. Tell you what. We'll just scare him, okay? We gotta hop worlds first. But first we have to see where he ends up. Oh. Okay. Where's this spot gonna be? Alright, right there, guys. We'll go get him. If he moves, we've been played so bad. Right here, right, guys? I think so. Alright. Okay, here we go. Gotcha. He is unfazed. Nothing. Huh. Wow. At least it was invigorating. I did that to someone else earlier, and they also did not respond at all. Like, if I just start kicking him, they'll probably call me bad names. That's like, I have to plant a magic tree. Do we go for it? But I like this world. I don't want to get in bad graces with him. Gotta make a note that this tree survived. A live willow. Okay. This is my world. Crazy chunks. You're not crazy enough. Okay. But I'm not gonna... Okay, I'm gonna grab all my beer. Let's see. Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright, if he doesn't die, I'm gonna hop worlds, because I don't like conflict. Assist defense. Alright, quick. Okay. But this one's all cluttered. Okay. Okay, he's safe. He didn't. Okay, we're a nice guy again. What training sword? Alright, we tried to protect our territory, but he bested us. Oh, my heart. Okay. Okay, what did I miss? Thieving guards to get that wouldn't be too bad. Net you 3 times XP cap. So maybe it would be bad actually. Hey, Nicholas. Yes, yes. This is not Falador. Well spotted. This is another account that I'm just playing on the side. Kind of getting some feedback from chat about. See, just like the pain and suffering with chunk accounts. Well, I just think it's a fun way to play the game. But yes. Lumbridge man assaults random citizen, then commits arson. Precisely. Who else did I saw another name, but I missed it. Olivier. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is a different account, thank goodness. I do think it's hard to come up with like a good across the board way of handling chunk PvP accounts. Other than just like letting them play like normal and just accepting I guess we are okay with 3-iteming. Hey Hago, it's a Supreme Chunk PvP Worlds. And there'll be a little bit more shenanigans that goes on, but I'm not sure if this will actually be a series or just kind of brainstorming it and playing it for fun. What are the goals for this account? So it's a Supreme account, so it has to do all the Supreme stuff, like get pets and do the normal extreme stuff like the woodcutting cape, defense cape, do all the drop tables. But the PvP aspect of this is what makes it different. In addition to, I haven't seen Supreme Lumbridge start, but whatever. Right now the thought, I guess it's been a while, the thought is that, which I'm looking for feedback on if you have any. The thought is that when you die on an Ironman in PvP, it doesn't mean a whole lot. Like you can just choose not to have much on you, especially with the general grinds you go for on chunk accounts usually. But if you were to do it on an ultimate, then every death would be very, very, very punishing. So I want to find some middle ground where it's not as punishing as ultimate, but it is more punishing than Ironman, which can be as kitty cat as you want it to be. So what I have as a working theory is every time I die right now, I'll enter this period of being tainted somehow, and I have to get back in good graces with death. And so I'll turn on this Iron Man icon of no, and then I'll have to roll some random talismans that I have to sacrifice, which could be, if I already have them, come from my bank, the entire stack of them, or if I don't have them, I'd have to go obtain them. But it would all be items that are obtainable in my first chunk, or in the chunks that I have. or that I have already gotten somehow from like a random event, those items would be at risk as well. And I'd have to instantly work towards them until I obtain them and sacrifice them. And in the meanwhile, while I'm working towards them, I wouldn't have I'd have immunity, so I can't just keep getting camped and then never work towards anything that I actually want to. But yeah, so that's like kind of the general concept. Getting a lot of weak stuff, but like it would suck to lose all my willow seeds, for instance, you know, or like I have to do all the bank slots, so it'd suck to like lose all my coins before I get 1 mil. So that's just the current thought right now. I think that would, like, that way you're losing more stuff than an iron, and there are some really costly deaths that could happen there. But it would not be nearly as bad as losing everything, like with an ultimate. And it keeps like the PvP world aspect alive, and it would combine like a task Ironman with a chunk Ironman, which I haven't ever seen done. So I think it's a cool idea, but I'm just floating it to you guys before I commit more to like that idea. And jeez. And like decide that's what I'm doing if I ever do want to make a series. So that's kind of what this account's all about right now. Doing a OneChunk per collection log slot account. It's quite fun. Interesting. I've never heard of something like that. Sounds like you made up your mind. Buzz don't need the little chat for this one. Well, I think part of it is I put quite a bit of learning app script into making that roller. So I'm trying to justify it. But like the more that I think about it, the more I'm like kind of sold on the idea too. Like it adds in a lot of things I've never seen. Like the chunk account, I've never seen a Supreme in Lumbridge, I've never seen a PvP chunk account, I've never seen a like task-ish chunk account. So like it's a lot of interesting things, and as long as I can like make it the rules elegant enough to not be a huge off-putting thing, I think it can be really cool. Like the concept, be sure to trade them on another account to keep track of the sacrifice. I was thinking I could do that, or I mean, probably what I would do is I would turn on, I think RuneLight can automatically screenshot your deaths, so I would have that on and I can reference them. And I was thinking I'd just go to this church over by Father Eric. He's going to be my sacrifice intermediary. And I'll just rob from the woman in there until I die, and then leave the items on the ground. That's what I was thinking. Just keep episode 1's rules under 20 minutes and it's a success. As long as I can make a TikTok with the rules, I think we're good. A YouTube shorts with the rules. Why not put him in Death's Coffer? Death's Coffer is out of this chunk. It's over there. Somewhere. I made this roller for a reason. Someone's gonna use it. My problem is just, like, I think as I get more chunks, the amount of, like, random items that I can obtain, like, will grow so exponentially, and it'll be kind of hard to keep track of them all. But then again, like, you only have to do that every chunk roll. Which, how often do you roll chunks on a Supreme one chunk? Not too much. That random item thing could be cool for a non-chunk account. That's true. Like, kind of like a task account, but not for collection logs, just whatever items you want. Assuming I get a second chunk. Yeah, we have a bit of work to do first. But like, I'm fairly sure that if I had started this account when I started Faladaddy and had the same rules, I would not be in the first chunk. Oh, I did pass 5,000 play hours on Faladaddy, which I think is kind of cool. Forgot that. Have to get the woodcutting pet? Yep, have to get woodcutting pet and Rocky. Those are the pets in this chunk. And it's kind of ironic because I was talking about how death is so unimportant and I want to make it more important. But I do plan on like suicide dying to thieving the man here until I get Rocky. But like you can do that on a normal chunk account, not on PvP worlds. And like I want the rolling of items to be a detraction for PvP deaths. I don't particularly care a whole lot about dying thieving or to an NPC or something, you know? Is this just a second account with the same rules while you wait for farming? It has similar rules. It has the same rule set, the extreme one. Those are where the tasks come from. But there's a little bit more because this is a PvP account. Starts in Lumbridge instead of Falador. And it's going to be a little bit more related to dying to keep the PvP worlds important. But I'm still welcoming ideas related to consequences of dying on this kind of account. Because like I could just bring my 3 favorite items every time and then just keep them. Because for most of the stuff you do on a chunk, man, you don't need a whole lot of items. At least on like early game chunk, man. A friend of yours has 157 million thieving experience and no Rocky. Ah, that sounds pretty miserable. X amount of time out of safe zone area with current items in the inventory. So, some amount of time. If you die, you have to do 10,000 skilling tasks. Pickpocket, etc. You're not nearly creative enough for that kind of advice. But you love the vids and enjoy watching. Well, thanks for the kind words, John. Glad you enjoy watching. I hope to make a series out of this account someday, if I can get far enough to where I feel like I have something to show you guys. Chunks or death? I mentioned it earlier, but I'd be curious what you guys thought was a better name. Right now, the names I have for like the series would be either Dead Man Chunking or The Chunking Dead. Which one do you guys like better? Here, I'll make a poll because that's an easy poll to make. Better series name. Dead Man Chunking or The Chunking. Let me know. The Chunkin' Dead. It's winning pretty good so far. You're the only one in the vote. It's interesting because I'd asked this question to like some of my friends, and the general consensus was Dead Man Chunkin' was the best one. And now it's very different in this poll so far, with 9 votes. 10 votes. I feel like they're both good names. And I'd be completely fine with either one of them. You think Dead Man Chunkin' makes more sense and rolls off the tongue better? Yeah, and there's also like Dead Man is a thing in RuneScape, so there's also that. But then it could get confused with like Dead Man mode chunking. Chunking in Dead Man mode, I suppose. But really, if you have just Dead Man in the title, then won't just like the YouTube algorithm like pick it up more? Big brain. You guys didn't witness it, but I just had the cleanest full inventory drop on Faladaddy. I didn't misclick any of them. It was beautiful. Dead Man would be picking it up more. 55. Man, fire making is so fast. I've been training fletching for like a week or two. I'm only at 62. Death Chunks featuring Spawn Chunk. Five-finger Death Chunk. Interesting new project. Oh, I went the wrong way. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you. I hope it turns out to be interesting. For me right now, it's interesting. At least a little bit more interesting than chopping a tree. Not saying that it'll take away from any time spent chopping trees, but a little bit more attentive than chopping trees and growing trees right now. It's just something fun to do on the side. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I figured like I've gotten all these oak logs and like I really only need 60. So I'm just getting the fire making out of the way because I can do it all in a safe zone, and it's better to watch than me fletching all of them. And I don't know how many I'll need to fletch or to leave enough for 60 fire making. I could figure it out, but it sounds like a lot of work right now. Yep, we need 99 woodcutting, 99 defense, beaver, rocky. Those are like kind of the main things in this chunk in terms of chunk tasks. Are oaks better than willows? Oaks are better for like banking, which it can be useful to have banked logs. I was just doing them for, like, they're also, oaks are better for beginner nests, which are kind of good for me right now. I'm not really sure which one's better money, which, like, I've kind of been working on making money. That's been my priority. Before this. I really didn't want to be out in a danger zone while streaming, so it's the main reason for doing this right now. But because I want to get, if I go with my idea of rolling items to sacrifice, I really don't want to roll my coins before I purchase the bank slots that I need to for 1 mil. So I'm just trying to get that out of the way. $99 farming cape and a few chunks. That's true. It's just as close for me as it is for Limp. Well, maybe a little bit farther, because he has those north chunks. Yeah, Willow. Also, one thing that's kind of interesting about this account is just, there's only those 3 worlds that I can sell unstrung longbows to the general store. So, like, I can't really take advantage of the stock being low for higher pricing. Because there's only a couple worlds, so... So it's pretty slow money, but I mean, I don't think a whole lot of chunk accounts are that sweaty about it. This guy's chunking in the land of the living dead. Alright, I'll end my poll. Looks like the chunking dead has won. Thanks to all the votes. Can buy them on another account? Well, I'm not... it depends on if they are... if the Ironman shops are separate for that general store. But I wouldn't really want to set an account out there with just money to buy them in a PvP world. Just having money in dangerous zones tends to not be a great way to live very long. Do you get enough / have enough coconuts for every magic tree? No. The only way I'll be able to get coconuts for a while will be from nature implings, which I don't have the level to barehand yet. Hopefully someday. So I have none, and so right now I'm sending magic trees when I get super compost from earth implings at a rate of 1 out of 100 for 2 of them. So it's pretty rare to get super compost, period, but it gives about an 85% chance of survival for my magic trees, which so far I've been on the good side of 85% on all my trees, but it'll hurt sometime. Sometime it'll hit me Right in the kicker. Chapter 1, Dead Man Chunkyyyyy. Man couldn't pick a title name, so he picked all of them. I know, 100% magic survival rate. Can't really complain yet. I just planted a magic tree, actually, which is on the small screen. But, let me see. I think I have... oh, I haven't looked in the bank since I logged in. But I have a couple more super compost, so I think I'll be sending one more magic after this one. I'm a little worried I'll have to do my use with normal compost if they don't give me secateurs. Which is okay. It'll just kind of suck seeing all that XP die. Just buy the secateurs. So funny. Use shears. I wish. But if shears worked, there wouldn't be any point for secateurs, so... I think I've tried using shears just in case. It says nothing interesting happens. But really, they're just shears for trees, right? Oh geez, it's a lot later than I said I was gonna go tonight. And I have to pee, so I'm just gonna choose now to say goodbye. So I'll get to give you the double goodbye. Let me get the other cat ready. So thanks everybody for tuning in. It was good brainstorming with you guys, talking with you guys. Just hanging out. It's always nice. I've been meaning to stream more, and for what it's worth, less time between this stream and last one than last one and the one before that. So if anyone's taking notes, but I guess I will see you guys later. Double wave.